The Truth the Girls.
Hi everyone, it's Truth the Girl Sonia here. Well, I'm still investigating this business about the Las Vegas shooting and whether there could have been multiple shooters. That question just wasn't settled in my mind. Okay, so I have some updates on this issue that I'd like to share with you. As usual, I have a whole ton of information, so where to start? Well, I have listened to the police scanner from when it happened. You know, as they're moving in and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and over the course of this time on scanner, there are many times reported multiple shooters or shooters from different locations. So let's look at some of the transcript from this and what it tells us. Also, the woman who said, "You're all going to die." And I was saying, well, who is this woman? How come this hasn't been accounted for? Looking further into it, you can get some more information. I can confirm from other sources that she was running her hands through people's hair, that she was intoxicated, and she was kicked out with her boyfriend. She also was saying, "They're all around us." One of my viewers said this woman was also saying, "I'm in a gang, my barrio is going to kill you." This I have not been able to confirm. I mean, obviously she was pretty much high out of her mind and aggressive, and she was thrown out. That's confirmed. They threw out someone who was intoxicated and disorderly. Could she have been an accomplice? I couldn't say if she was an accomplice, but maybe she knew something. Or maybe she was just a random person who was wasted. It's rather a big coincidence, but it doesn't exactly prove anything. And then what about the issue of reports of multiple shooters? Because at this point, there are many witnesses who say they're convinced there were multiple shooters. This girl said there were multiple shooters on the ground. And you might also find this interview with Rocky Palermo interesting. He was shot at the scene, and he's convinced there were multiple shooters. Horizontal gunfire, meaning wasn't coming from up high, and that the shooters were approaching because of the way the gunfire sounded. It was getting closer. He's convinced there were shooters inside the venue. He also says that all the exits on Las Vegas Boulevard were blocked off at 10 p.m., 8 minutes before the shooting started. They were blocked off with chain link fences. There was only one exit open, and cops at the blocked exits were telling people they have to go the other way. He says police and feds interviewed all the patients in hospital, all the victims, and Palermo told them he was 100% sure there were multiple shooters. Well, there's the question of the sound of the gunshots. Some people have said that what you're hearing are echoes, that it's just one shot and an echo. But there is footage which has overlapping gunfire. You know, two different patterns of shots overlapping. So it appears from this footage that you can clearly hear at least two guns going off at the same time. And there's also this footage from the event which seems to show someone dressed as a security guard firing into the crowd. When I watch this video, I know what it definitely looks like, but I'm not 100% sure what it actually is, because it's only about 2 seconds of poor quality footage. Sorry about the buzzing, they're cutting a tree down outside. Anyway, have a look at this footage and see what you think. Of course, the official story is that there was only one shooter, and that these accounts of there being multiple shooters are just the result of confusion during the chaos of what happened. Well, let's get into the police scanner. There's a video uploaded of the entire recording of the police scanner for about 13 minutes. The last 13 minutes when they arrived at the room on the 32nd floor. Like, everything leading up to that. And I've written down some of the key points if you want to know what the cops were talking about regarding multiple shooters. I marked the time according to the video that I watched, so not the scanner itself. So at 1:08, shots fired, automatic fire. Coming from upstairs in the Mandalay Bay, halfway up. I see shots coming from Mandalay Bay halfway up. Okay, so that is not near the 32nd floor. At 1:33, active shooter inside the fairgrounds. Be advised, shots are coming from gate 7. Gate 7, shots are coming from gate 7. That's gate 7 inside the fairgrounds. 3:21, it's coming from the 15th or 16th floor. 3:26, we're seeing multiple flashes in the middle of Mandalay Bay on the north side, kind of on the west tower, but toward the center of the casino. It's like on the middle floor. So that's confirming what they said around 15th, 16th floor. 344, I'm inside the Mandalay Bay on the 31st floor. I can hear gunfire coming from one floor ahead. So now we have inside the fairgrounds, gate 7, halfway up on the Mandalay Bay, and he's on the 31st floor saying the shots are coming from the 32nd. 408, a flashing coming from about a third of the way up, center of Mandalay Bay, be advised. So this could be what they were calling before halfway up. 456, corner of Reno and Giles, gunshots fired right over their heads. 515, 15th floor of the Mandalay Bay. So again, this is that middle of the Mandalay Bay, halfway up, a third of the way up, something like that. 604, 32nd floor, approaching the suspect. 722. Now at this point, they say that the flashes were like halfway up were a strobe light. They've determined that there's no shooter halfway up. Okay, 741, we're getting from civilians that there might have been 3 shooters. Interviewed multiple people saying there are multiple people shot and were shooting in the concert venue. 807, they reached the 32nd floor. 821, confirmed dead body. 839, room 135 on the 32nd floor. They say a lot of wounded, gunshot wounds. 926, control, we just spoke to security and Mandalay Bay say they have shots fired on 29 and 32nd levels. 940, security officer shot in the leg on the 32nd floor. 1002, that's 10 minutes and 2 seconds into the video. We will need the 29th floor. It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapon. 1102, officer with gunshot wound to the neck. 1120, the SWAT team arrives on 32nd floor. Shortly after, the police say, we have 1 suspect down. So at that point, 11 minutes and 10 seconds into this, the police and the SWAT are on the 32nd floor and the suspect is dead. So they figured that whatever was coming from halfway up sort of in the building was a strobe light. They ruled that out. But what about the 29th floor? Well, according to this article, tips from hotel guests and the officers' observations soon narrowed the field. Police and guards fanned out to sweep the 29th, 30th, 31st, and 32nd floors. So basically, it appears that they were suspecting shots in the fairground, halfway up the building, 29th floor, 32nd floor. They eliminated the middle of the building as being a strobe light. They went to the 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, and they found that the shooter was on the 32nd. And as for gunshots coming from within the fairgrounds, you don't hear any more of that. So why would they then leave it at this and not say that there were other shooters? Well, either because there weren't other shooters or because they didn't find the other shooters. Maybe they don't want you to know this. A lot of people are talking about this being a false flag. But maybe if there were multiple shooters, what we're dealing with is not a false flag, but a cover-up. Judging from the scanner audio and how the police put their lives on the line to intervene, I don't get the impression they were in on any kind of plot. But we don't know what goes on higher up. It still looks to me like this mystery isn't solved, and there's likely some evidence being hidden. The biggest question, and I think why I keep researching this, is that it's really unclear what the guy's motive could have been and why this kind of person would have done this. I mean, there's so many strange things about it. So the thing is, we can't figure out a plausible motive. I can't figure out a motive. I find the whole thing still very strange. Anyway, that's where I'm at. So let me know what you think. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. If you like my videos, make sure to subscribe and to bell me. And thank you for your support on Patreon, because obviously YouTube's corporate advertisers don't pay me to make these videos. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.